Hey guys, Cam315 back at it with another video for you guys. Back with another Shiunji Family Children episode review for you guys. And man, look, bruh, I got two things to take away from this episode. One, I guess the first thing was, well, I was definitely correct with where this show was, where the trope was going, and the trope was going well. Said main character or one of the main characters are injured, right, in their sports competition, and that probably more than likely ends up making them lose the match. That's what happened in this week's episode with Minami. Of course, we don't see how she lost, but I mean, they made it seem like as if she was gonna win it. She was gonna pull off the upset. And the next thing you know, we find out, oh, she lost. They didn't even want to freaking show it. I guess I can respect it, but okay. I guess they wanted. I guess they went away from the trope of like, well, we see the loss. We all got to see her actually succeed and win, right? One match set, but then she ended up losing, which we'll find out. And then another thing is that I found out about the show. And another thing is, again, this is done by the same author of Rent a Girlfriend. Now, mind you, I gotta freaking catch up with watching Rent a Girlfriend because I think I'm a season behind, right? Or unless I think I'm no, I think I'm like two seasons behind, whatever. Regardless, right? And the fact that I have, enjoyed this show, and I like the story where the show's going more than I do with the original main Rent a Girlfriend show. Mostly because when I watch Rent a Girlfriend, I just don't understand why Kazuya just doesn't tell freaking Chizuru he just likes her, right? Like, legitimately, like, he could do that and then get that over with, right? But I can see why the author decided, you know what, let me make a more likable show. And I really am liking this show. Again, for this little mini arc that we got a Minami, obviously if you looked at my last few episode reviews, like, you guys could probably tell, like, it's not that I didn't like Minami or I wasn't a Minami fan. She was probably one of my least favorite sisters out of the bunch. But after these past two episodes, Minami has shot up the chart for me, and I actually really do like her, and stuff like that. So it makes it to where, I really truly do like all the sisters. Um, I will say this. I like all the sisters. Kotono, I will say, needs a little bit more character development outside the whole I love Arata thing, but regardless, that was pretty regardless, it's pretty good. But basically, we last left off on the cliffhanger because last week Minami basically disappeared, and we find out, oh, she just basically went out to the convenience store. I was just like, oh, okay, that's it. All right, cool. And she's acting pretty chill and everything and fine and over, interjecting. And all the other siblings are like, don't you got a match today? And she's like, oh, well, that doesn't happen till later today. Supporters wanted to show up till later today. And they're like, supporters? What the hell is she talking about? And they're like, wait, she's not gonna do, excuse me, I got hiccups, my goodness. And basically, the siblings are like, wait, she's not going to compete in the match? Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Um, and we basically find out, and it's basically revealed, that essentially her coach, and then now, I got her name this time, I got the senpai right, now senpai. They basically thought it was in their best interest that Minami doesn't play, so she doesn't get herself hurt, and further aggravates that injury. And basically now Senpai was like, look, I really thank you for what you've done. You've helped us get this far, but I want to look out for you and everything. And clearly that upsets Minami because we know this whole thing in this mini arc that we've gotten is that she wants to send out now Senpai out on basically this, pedestal where she doesn't have to quit, and hopefully she can impress scouts and get to a good college, because that's what she basically says to now. She's like, I did this for you and everything, and you're telling me basically to just give up now and everything. So yeah, and you can tell like it clearly bothers her. Like she was playing it off in the household like it didn't bother her. But after Arata hears this, story from Shion, because Shion basically basically, walked in on her crying and could overhear like the pain and suffering. So which it gets Arata to basically like, hey, we're doing this, we're going. And she's like, and he basically like, look, I can tell when you're lying to me, don't lie to me anymore, right? So basically, him and the sisters, they basically convince me to be like, no, you're going out there and you're gonna go compete. You're going out there, right? So you do get this funny scene where I'm guessing Bonri's driving. I guess she's not the best driver because she's like, I don't like, I need to stay composed. Can everybody like chill? So I take it she's a bad driver. Um, Questions how I wonder how she got her license. I guess you could say the same thing like with SpongeBob. He's a bad driver, right? So, anyways, the tournament match is happening and getting and started. It looks like clearly Minami's school is not doing too much of a good job against this other school in the finals, and they're very close to the venue, right? And the thing is, they're stuck in obviously gridlock traffic, and they're just like, well, we're gonna miss the freaking finals, we're gonna miss the match, and it's gonna be too late by the time we get there. So then that's when Arata basically comes up with the idea. He basically goes, grabs a bike, and he bikes Minami there, even though he's not the most athletic, right? And basically Minami is like, why are you doing all this and everything? And basically Arata gets into this breakdown talking about, their mom and everything. And the fact that, he talks about how Minami in the past has acted, or how she has this carefree attitude and she always has a smile on her face. And like they even showed her like having a smile on her face, even though she was like bleeding from the freaking forehead. I'm just like, dog, what the hell? And freaking ours is like, yeah, even when you banged your head up against that rock. I'm like, what? And basically, Arata basically gives the determination to Minami and saying like, hey, look, I want you to go out there and try your best. Now, don't push yourself crazy enough to the point where you're gonna get yourself hurt, but I want you to at least go out there and try and give it your all, right? So luckily because of it, they end up getting to the match, right? And that's when Arata basically gets on his hands and his knees and basically begs the Minami's coach and now senpai to like, hey, listen, she's worked her ass off to get here. Please let her try. I know she's injured right now, but please, she's worked her life for this to have a moment like this. So please do this. And they've reluctantly agreed to this, right? So the thing is, Minami has her match. The other siblings show up in the nick of time. It's funny because they're celebrating a lot, and the referee's like, hey, keep it down over there. But apparently what we find out, I guess the crowd for the team that she was going up against was getting pretty loud and everything. So I'm like, well, then why is the freaking referee not telling them to be quiet? But I don't care, right? But anyways, this fuels Minami to keep trying because it looked like it was like, oh, here we go. It's gonna be that moment where she's gonna like slip up and everything, right? Nope. Her family keeps composed, and you get this nice like match set between Minami and this other tennis girl, right? Mind you, the animation looked damn good, bro. Good God, bro. Listen, if you're gonna tell me I can get a tennis animes, like I don't know if we've had a tennis anime. Like the only other anime that's like tennis like I've seen is like Blue Box with the badminton stuff, right? But this animation was actually damn good. Yes, even though they did a lot of close-ups on Minami's face, but when they actually had the motion, of the swing and then the ball moving on the court, I don't know what the animators tapped into, man, but they tapped into the budget and they made it look damn good. Probably some of the best animation I've seen, straight up, right? So you get that whole point right then and there. Yeah, so after that happens and everything, you basically get the results of the fact like, oh, well, darn, we lost. And I'm like, oh, so we got the typical trope. Okay. So you basically have it to where Minami, she's kind of playing off. You can clearly tell she's very upset and very bothered and very sad that she didn't win the match. And she's like, it's okay, you guys can slap me and everything and you can hurt me. But then now it's like, she bows her head and she's like, thank you for making all these years, fun and everything. Thank you for, doing everything you did today. Like, it really means a lot to me that you did all of that. So yeah. But anyways, you get the end of the episode where it's a pretty damn emotional moment, which makes the show even better and everything. Where the point even it gets me to tear up a bit. I was tearing. I was like, damn, this girl worked her ass off, and and everything. Basically, Arta finds her and it's like, look, don't lie to me. Let it out. If you need to cry, cry. And she basically cries her eyes out, and she's talking about how, like, I don't understand how I can't get any better. Like, how can I get better and everything? And yet I'm hampered by my injury. Like, how can I? And she basically talks about how, like, how she wants to be better, and to the point where it's like even an injury doesn't have to hamper her down and affect her. And it's your typical like sports anime like drama moment where your main sports character goes through something that is going to only fuel them for when they go out there again and get better. So I would envision if we ever cut back to another moment where we see Minami with her tennis things again, this next time she'll get to the finals and she'll overcome those demons that she overcame. But overall, that was a very emotional moment. I loved how Arata basically embraced his sister, embraced Minami and everything, to basically like say like, it's okay, you can just cry on my shoulder and I'll be here for you. And I think also this week, especially going back to the bike scene, when Arata was saying the things, I think now we got into the spark where now Minami is gonna start catching some feelings for Arata. If it wasn't this episode before, it's definitely not gonna be now going forward. So I can see it to where she starts to get flustered around Arata going forward. So we'll definitely see where the show's going to go from this point on. It's gonna be interesting to see what sister we have a major focus on now, because we've already got a major focus on Bonri, and I guess you can say to an extent Oka a bit, but this is another sister that we got to focus on. And Seiha's kind of been like on and off in terms of focus. I wonder if we're gonna have a Seiha focus moment where she's basically down in the dumps and everything, and Arata's got to pick her up, and that's when she kind of realizes like, no, I love my older brother, or my younger brother too, right? So yeah, but overall, another great episode of Shiunji Family Children. I am really liking this show. It's like I said in this in my freaking title, like, low key, this show is better than fucking Rent-A. This show is like not better. It's probably this show is leaps and bounds better than Rent-A-Girlfriend. I don't know what the author was cooking for this show when he was writing compared to Rent-A-Girlfriend, but look, man, you'll take it, right? But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Shiunji Family Children content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Until then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day or your night. I'm watching this video. Till then, guys, peace.